With first-year head coach Mike McDaniel leading the charge, the Miami Dolphins put together a 2022 campaign full of highs and lows. This included both a 5-game win streak and a 5-game losing streak. Ultimately, with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa dealing with injuries, the team finished the season with a 9-8 record. While the Dolphins did not end the season on a high note, they did look to have a solid core in place. The receiving duo of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill looked to be one of the most dominant in the NFL. In their first season together, the pair combined for 194 receptions, 3,066 receiving yards, and 15 touchdowns. Prior to dealing with several head injuries, Tagovailoa was off to the best start of his NFL career. Through 13 appearances, he threw for 3,548 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions. With a strong offensive line, this offense is built to be competitive both through the air and on the ground. This was clear with the performances that the Dolphins running backs produced each week. Raheem Mostert, who appeared in 16 games, often looked to be the lead back. In total, he rushed for 891 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns on 181 carries. Through the air, he added 31 receptions for 202 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Alongside Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr. played well in a limited role. Following a mid-season trade that saw him move on from the San Francisco 49ers, Wilson carved out a role in the Dolphins' backfield. In 8 games he rushed for 392 yards, the second most on the team. He also recorded 3 rushing touchdowns. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, the backfield is expected to undergo a major change in the coming weeks. At the moment, the team could lose all 4 of their current running backs to free agency. With no running backs on the roster heading into the offseason, the Dolphins will need to find a way to address the position in a big way. With no first-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, they could look to make their splash in free agency. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, the running back market could be slim. With the New York Giants choosing to franchise tag Saquon Barkley, and the Dallas Cowboys doing the same with Tony Pollard, the 2 top backs in this year's group are now off the market. But there is still a handful of options, including one running back who has quietly put together a solid career. Here is one free agent who can help fill Dolphins' biggest offseason need. When looking at the ball carriers who are set to hit the open market, there is one who stands out above the rest. This comes in Philadelphia Eagles running back Miles Sanders. Through the first 4 seasons of his NFL career, Sanders has regularly produced for the Eagles. Over 47 regular season games, he has rushed for 3,708 yards and 20 touchdowns on 739 total carries. Through the air, he has added 124 receptions for 942 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. This past season, Miles Sanders played the best football of his career. As the Eagles made a Super Bowl appearance, he looked elite at times. While appearing in all 17 regular season games, he rushed for 1,269 yards and 11 touchdowns, setting career highs in both stats. In the playoffs, Sanders also stepped up when needed. Through 3 games, he rushed for 148 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins have constructed an offense full of firepower. The one area they are lacking a punch is out of the backfield. By adding Sanders, they would address the position the best way that they can. An offensive trio of Waddle, Hill, and Sanders could help this team reach its full potential in 2023.